that um, we're really working diligently to make particularly Southeast Michigan really a welcoming place to not only be pregnant, but to give birth and to parent. So that's a part of my why. If you ever heard me present anywhere, that's even in my bio. Like, we must have that approach. So I'll share real quick for those who have heard about Birth Detroit, but not really sure what we do. I'll be really quick. I did feel inclined to share a quick PowerPoint just so you could see part of our team. Um, and this is really the clinical team. So Birth Detroit was really birthed. Sorry, I'm sharing, but that's not what I want to do. Was we started the concept around, can you all see my screen? Or is it showing this little window here too?
It says Birth Detroit with a blue box.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
So we started this concept probably in we started meetings. So I met Charlie in 2017. I met Leslie in 2016. I met Nicole in 2017. And we are the co-founders. So we all came to this work from a different vantage point. Leslie, who's standing next to me, I work with her at the Detroit Health Department. So she comes from a public health background. She's also a business, and she has her MBA. But she has always been a part of maternal child health initiatives in public health. I came from public health kind of as a direct person. So I was a community health worker for a period of time. I worked in project coordination, the Sister Friends project that exists now in Detroit. I was a part of its inception. And then you have Charlie Snow, who was a midwife. She's a CNM. She was formerly at Henry Ford. She was also, I don't know if anybody knows about Kathy Fournier, who was the former president of ACNM, but she was also the director of midwifery services. And when Kathy retired, Charlie was in her place. So she directed midwifery services at Henry Ford, Maine and Henry Ford West Bloomfield, until she decided to step down and come full time and serve as our clinical director. And then you have Nicole White, who is a home birth midwife, no longer catching anymore. However, she has been on the forefront of the CPM when the CPM licensing was coming down the pipeline at the state level. She has a view of policy. So she directs policy. I didn't say what I do. So I direct perinatal support and programming. And so my job is to ensure that those who come into our care, those who come into our educational classes, have those peripheral support. So people who lose their housing in pregnancy, lose their insurance in pregnancy. We find lactation referrals. We do, I've had clients who actually only came to our classes. They weren't even care clients, but needed a postpartum doula because they were having perinatal mood disorders. We warmly connect people. So a huge part of my job is to develop, foster, and procure relationships with those soft and warm referrals, so that when we send our people and say, Birth Detroit sent me, that they already have a sliding scale fee in place, or they're willing to do the service for free if people can't afford it, or simply will receive our people. So what you all know this was our initial goal, right? Was to establish a home-like place where midwives gave the care and people could give birth. Jenny Joseph was one of our inspirations, and she has been a mama elder to us. So we have we've adapted her model that she works in Florida, creating easy access to care, prenatal care. What does that mean? So really, the prenatal care was birthed out of, we did a community assessment. So we asked people, what do you all really want out of a birth center? And then people started saying these were moms who had given birth in the last year at the time. These were moms who were currently pregnant. They started telling us, we want prenatal care that is warm. The providers look like us. We can bring our partners. We can bring our kids if we need to. This is situated in, non-sterile feeling environments. And so we responded by saying, okay, cool. We need a birth center soon, but we need prenatal care now. Had we known in 2019 when these this assessment was done, let me just fast forward to that. Okay, so that's the assessment. This is what we asked people. Okay, and so when we had we known early 2019 or late 2018 when we issued our survey, we issued this community assessment survey in 2019. Jenny came in October of 2019, and then we had COVID. So we did not know that we needed to mobilize as quickly as we did, but we did. So since October 10th of 2020, we have been providing prenatal care to pregnant, low-risk people. All of the providers at Birth Detroit at that time, were contracted midwives. So we had midwives from U of M. We had Angela Foster from Ascension Providence. We had home birth midwives. So Cynthia Jackson was a home birth midwife providing care on occasion. Jamana Selassie was also providing care from the home birth community. And then we had representation from pretty much every health system that had functioning midwives, with exclusion of Beaumont. And then let me also say this, that our prenatal care is complete and comprehensive. We, in early of last year, we were able to acquire ultrasound equipment and sonographers. So everybody who comes to us gets their OB panels, they get their glucose testing, they get their ultrasound. So we confirm with ultrasound. We have anatomy scans at 20 weeks. We do everything that people need in traditional prenatal care. And they also get spacious visits. So just like with your midwife in a home setting, early on, we were spacing out visits so much that people were getting like 45-minute, 1-hour prenatal visits with us. They could bring their partner. We had a playroom. And so we have now increased, our schedule. However, we do not receive insurance reimbursement. And that is an inequity that exists because insurance companies do not know what to do with you when you don't say doctor so-and-so, right? Even though our providers are prescribing, licensed, they have MPIs, these things, that in a health system they get billed for, right? They get reimbursed for, but they just don't know what to do with you when you're not affiliated with a hospital. So that is one of our challenges. I'll just name that out loud. We are constantly working to become in network with the people that, because we also, the spectrum of our clientele, we have, and notice that I'm calling our people clients and not patients, because we honor their autonomy. So some people come to us and say, well, I was planning to give birth at Henry Ford. What do you think about a home birth? And so we've developed relationship with Heather Robinson, Cynthia Jackson, and Jamana Selassie, who are the 3 practicing Black home birth midwives, CPMs in Detroit, to do a pilot program. So if people come to us early on, and most of our folks typically come to us within the first trimester because there's no wait, right? We don't have to say, well, let me see if we take your insurance. We don't care. Do you have insurance or not? We don't even care. We'll take care of you, right? No one is ever turned away. The only thing that would risk somebody out is if they have pre-existing conditions that need to be managed by by a physician or even MFM. But when people come to us and they say, well, we're thinking about a home birth, if they can establish their reasoning, their rationale, and they don't have to prove anything to us, we will take care of them prenatally. And then when their time of birth happens, the midwives become their providers. So, and then they don't have to pay that full fee because they're not getting prenatal care in the home. They're getting prenatal care in our home at Birth Detroit.
So are they, if you don't mind me asking a question right now, so are they just paying out of pocket then for the
they pay
care?
nothing. They pay nothing.
Okay.
So the only way we pay our bills and staff what we do is through philanthropy. So we are aggressive grant applicant. We aggressively apply for grants. I'm grateful because many of our relationships have been developed through those connections, those authentic relationships. And we have an amazing donor base. Like I am so impressed with, and donors don't have to be always those 10,000, 100,000 donors. We have met those people and they've been amazing and believe in what we're doing. But we have our clients. They say, we have this Build Birth Detroit t-shirt campaign because we are always projecting. We need to always make sure we have our operational costs, that we can pay our team their salaries and their benefits. And we don't have a huge staff, but to make sure that we can continue to do this, because, when we have to sit and do a dance to say, hey, this is why we're important, this is why we're worth it, we're asking for permission from some power. And granted, we need those things to happen too, especially, reimbursement helps you be sustainable, and we're always striving for that. However, we would miss so many opportunities to really care for the people who look like us, who are most disparately impacted in health systems. So that's where we're not asking permission to save our own lives kind of comes into play.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So we're constantly engaging. Right now, we're in a Medicaid innovation collaborative and again, I hate that many places, these powerful systems that have a lot of decision-making power constantly ask the question, so midwives, right? Let's pilot that, right? Even though midwives, we know, have been the people catching babies since the beginning of time. It's still considered a pilot to many people. And so, again, we want to name that we know midwives work. We know that this care is proven. It's the evidence base, right? And so since we've established the prenatal care, we've established childbirth education. Childbirth education actually has been our longest running program, if you will. The care, of course, is not, we don't consider that a program, but childbirth education, we were virtual 100% in 2020. We started the hybrid, so we come together in our 6 sessions, we come together twice in person, and we're gradually moving into full in person for our 6-week class. But we've served over 200 parents in this 2 years of childbirth education, which I think is really incredible. And so we send people off to have births wherever they're going to choose. And I've seen such a beautiful connection of community between parents. So like we had a mom who was being strongly and aggressively pressured by their provider to come in at 37 weeks for an induction. And she was kind of, unsure. She didn't feel good about it. And she literally came from her visit into class. And, I asked some questions and reminded her of her power and her choice. And then the class, we're like, no, you can listen, girl, you can do this in 1, 2, 3. And the way that they felt so powerful to support their colleague, their fellow parent was incredible to me. And that was something you can't create, Um, we just fostered it. We just created a culture where that felt normal and safe. And then that mom did make a decision to stay in, and she went into labor at 40 weeks on her own, you know? But really knowing, and I just want to name explicitly that, you know, in my experience as a birth doula for the last 6 going on 7 years, I've only served Black families. And regardless of their income, regardless of their educational status, regardless of their prenatal care status, we know that when we enter into systems, there is this increased aggression sometimes, this increased pressure to to do what we say. We know white coat syndrome is a thing for anybody, but also recognizing that there is a power dynamic that's exercised upon Black and brown birthing bodies that happens too often. And it really has, again, was one of the impetus to say, birth center care is an option that everyone deserves, regardless of your ability to pay for it. And that really, honestly, insurances should pay for it. And that's the argument we make. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second because flat flat slides always make me feel like clear eyes, dry eye. First, I want to pause and ask what questions or thoughts are coming up for you. And I'm going to share with you all quickly where we are now with our birth center bill.
One thing I have to say, I'm 200 couples coming for class. That's the whole part that's missing, is not getting the information ahead of time for that healthy birth. That is awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think that's why we love teaching so much, is that, and just as you were saying, that parents feel that white coat syndrome and they feel like whoever standing over them and waiting for this answer somehow knows better than them, even though they've taken this 6-week course and understand and trust their body. But somebody's standing there saying, you should doubt yourself. So I love that you're in your class rallied around this mom to say, you got this. And then she went 40 weeks, and 40 weeks, you're supposed to have a baby by then, right? No,
and labored on her
I was
own.
kidding. Yeah.
I think one thing that I'm finding, we take evaluations that people sometimes opt into. I'm working on them on that. But
Right.
when I think about how many parents we've had who are co-parenting, they're not even, these dads are showing up to childbirth ed and they're not with mom necessarily, but they're going to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another explicit thing that we don't always know is happening in the context of hospitals, particularly, is this, Black men are often kind of kept out, or they're looked at as threatening if they want to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a dad last night who said, I always thought it was they knew better than I did. But now I know I can go in and ask questions to protect them. That was what he said. I was like,
yep.
Yes.
And one question changes the whole situation, right? But if dads just sit there tight-lipped, then it's almost like you agree.
Yeah.
So it's so great that he found his voice, right? And was able to say something. So
absolutely,
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm going to share with you all really quickly. So
Elon, can I just mention one slide? I think I saw did it say out of hospital birth centers, 380, was it percent? It was very quick, 380% white owned maybe. Was that 5%?
Yes, I'll show you that slide right here.
So already impressed at the hills you're climbing, and then also just to really, well, there we go. Indigenous, all people of color. There we go. This is huge.
And let's name that there's never been a freestanding birth center in Southeast Michigan. So nothing that's been outside of a hospital. And never has there been a freestanding birth center owned by folks of color. And so this is
Rah,
a
rah.
great time to be alive, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, it's a great
Yes.
time to be alive. So we have purchased land, one parcel of our land. We are looking at 3 lots. So we put in a bid with the city. However, we did buy some land last week. And so I'm going to just quickly share with you all this news article that was featured on WXYZ channel 7. So let me make sure my sound is being shared. If you didn't see it, or if this is a
Reporter Simon Shayket shows us how the
Please
facility
enjoy.
is working to
There
combat
we go.
disparities in mortality for pregnant mothers and babies in the African American community.
Birth Detroit just closed on the first phase of a land purchase here intended for a new facility to be built at this location, literally bringing new life to this community.
I
We
gave
have
him
been
that
searching for
line.
the right location for a while.
For Charlize Snow, the experience of becoming a mother was life-changing. It's now also become part of a calling for the midwife and Birth Detroit founder and CEO Leslie Welch, who's previously served as Deputy Health Director for Detroit. Today, both met us at Grand River and Heritage Place, the site of what will become the city's first and only freestanding birth center, serving a critical need they say many are unaware of.
What do the statistics show in terms of the disparities?
Infant mortality is about 2 to 3 times the rate of white women, and that doesn't account for having a bad experience.
They say their mission is to help combat troubling stats that include fewer birth care choices and data showing Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related issues than white women.
Unfortunately, insurers do not all reimburse for midwifery services that are not within hospitals. So that is a part of our mission to change that narrative.
With a goal of serving 500 families a year, Birth Detroit is expanding their current program that offers a wide range of help. Soon, midwife nurses, a partnering physician, and transfer hospital relationships will all be part of the transformative effort to deliver babies.
The greatest goal we hope to achieve is to ensure that all families have access to all safe birth options, no matter our race, our religion, our income, our language, all the things.
Similar to some of the 400 centers around the country, Birth Detroit offers services to women regardless of their insurance or ability to pay. When it opens, the new center will provide a comfortable, home-like environment to welcome babies into the world.
Birth Detroit expects to open its doors in late fall 2023 with a groundbreaking set to take place in the next couple of months. If you'd like to make a donation to support this cause, you'll find the information on WXYZ.com. From Detroit's West Side, Simon Shayket, 7 Action News.
Gorgeous land,
know.
gorgeous building. Oh my God.
It's gonna be amazing. And we have been working with the architect, actually, Charlotte. We'll be there on the land from 2 to 5. We will have food. We'll have things for your family, for your kids to do, because that's what we do at Birth Detroit. And it's how we will commemorate our 2nd year anniversary as well. So please feel welcome. This is your formal invitation to come and be a part, because this is our village and we must have it, right? We deserve it, and it's time. So I do want to also, some people ask us, I'll say it right offhand. People say, what happens in the event of an emergency? We are only 10 minutes from Henry Ford, actually 7 minutes from Henry Ford Hospital, and we are establishing transfer relationships in the event that mom or baby need to be transferred. So, of course, we'll do everything in our power not to require that, but we have the relationship, and that gives us even greater comfort. But
Yeah.
I'm so excited to share with you all. You all will actually also get to interact with the space in the sense of our architect is presenting mood boards, so people can kind of, the community gets to choose, like, yes, I want to see this color in the space. Like I said, Charlie and I were talking through like all of the effects that will be there, things for squatting, things for movement, outdoor, indoor laboring space. It'll be really amazing.
Amazing. Tears to
great.
our eyes for sure. That's so awesome.
Please,
for
if you
you.
have something formally written up or something, send it to me, please email. And
Sure,
I'll send it
I'll
out to
send
the
you the
group.
invitation. You can share with
Perfect.
the group.
Beautiful.
great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And Charlie and Leslie right now are at the AABC
They
is it a
are,
conference?
yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't go because I'm on call, of course, but yes, they're there doing some work. So Leslie also sits with the Birth Center Equity Fund, which is that also came out of COVID, of ways of mobilizing funding to Black, Brown, Indigenous-led birth centers to get them funding without having these long wait times, to have a fiduciary that will allocate your funds, because we saw Black and Brown birth centers closing in COVID, unfortunately. And so the Birth Center Equity Fund was helping people stay open, helping people actually open their doors. And then again, I want to lift up that we value midwifery. So we have both CPM and CNM recognized in our space, and that we can't do community birth without the CPMs. And so that's a part of our advocacy, like home birth, that skill set is important, and we're trying to return to that part of care.
Amazing.
Did I do the assignment, Janice? That's the question.
You did the assignment. You did the assignment. Absolutely. And if
You're making the rest of us look bad.
No,
Come on.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, my heart is so
Joking.
filled. And
That's so
the
good.
thing is, you are doing it right. You are putting those foundational pieces in place to have that strong foundation to build upon, so no crumbling is occurring. So this is like this is so exciting. And if you all here on the group right now have not been to the Birth Detroit website, please go. Or if you haven't been there in a while, honestly, go. It's inviting, it's inspiring, and it'll be a nice backup to everything that Elon has shared here. And I'm just so, there we go. She just put it in the chat. Thanks. I'm just really happy for you to spend time here with us. Thank you.
Absolutely. I do want to offer, people ask me all the time, how can I support? I
Yes.
do want to, we have our t-shirt, and actually, I don't know if you all are familiar with China Tolliver with Rise Up Midwife. So she's coming out of the talking t-shirt business, and we bought some licenses for her, some of the shirts that she used to sell. So if you
Awesome.
go to, I'll drop also like where you can buy a t-shirt, all of those funds go towards our goal. So you don't have to like spend $10,000 to be considered a donor with us. We love you if you can and do, but if you can't, buy a t-shirt for a friend. Our campaign right now is This Tea Builds Black Birth Centers. However, you can also, there's other t-shirts now on the website. So.
And what's so great about t-shirts, also then it creates conversation while you're wearing them. So that's even more, there's like another added layer there, which I love that too. So that's great. Thank you. I didn't know that you got some of China's licenses. That's so exciting to me. Yeah. That's great. Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Hey, can I just chime in real quick too? So something, I was new to fundraising. I'm a volunteer at Birth Detroit and a donor, and something that really hit home to me was what Elon said. It doesn't matter the amount. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, right? And it's about the participation, and something that was really exciting that Birth Detroit put together was the amount that was raised just from the shirt sales literally purchased the land. So literally, right, Elon? That's my understanding.
Yes, it
So just
literally
from
did.
just
You're
from
right.
t-shirt sales bought the land. So
So
you know,
this tea literally is building a Black person.
every
T-shirt
penny
awesome.
counts.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
So I
Thank you
put the
for saying
t-shirt
that.
link in if you want to shop and just, find something cute. There's stuff for your kids too. So yeah. Thank you for saying that, Elise. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'll be sharing
Awesome.
that. I'll be sharing that because I
And
teach
the
all
stuff
kinds
for
of
the
people,
kids.
all
The
different
stuff for the kids
colors.
go up to like 7 because all 3 of the boys have things. Shane was born with the help of
December.
Elon, and he's had onesies, t-shirts. He is very much
He's a
Birth
Birth Detroit baby, no
baby.
question.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Anyone else wanting to ask or share or reflect? All right, beautiful.
I think my cup is feeling pretty full and excited. So
Thank you so much. Yeah.
good stuff.
Yep. And I'll send you, well, I think I'm just gonna post this. I did record, I didn't really say this to everybody, sorry, probably not great, but the part that Elon was speaking, I did record. So many people were missing this and really wanted to hear somebody be sharing that with the group, and so that you can grab that. So I hope that I save it correctly here. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for your time, Elon. And Shatoria, thank you for coming too, as another representative of Birth Detroit. That's really great just to kind of see all the people who support this project. And there's more, but as far as a teacher and stuff, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to the space.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop off. Unfortunately, I have to
Yep.
get to another meeting. I am
Yep.
so grateful to see all of your faces. And for
Thank
those
you,
who are
dear.
watching this on the playback, reach out. We're happy to connect. And I did put the event so that you all can go to the website. Again, this is your formal invitation. You are part of the village. You are part of the community. We want to see you there. So
Fabulous.
thank you. Thank you for the invitation, Jan.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm going to share this with all the yayas because we're having a yaya weekend in a week and a half.
Thanks.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Awesome.
Elon.
Anybody else? Alon's popping off here, but anybody, I mean, we're kind of done, but anybody want to share something before we go? I feel good and complete. All right. Fabulous. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Jan-
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Jan-
Bye,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do we just go on? Okay.
Adios.
Yeah, you can just
Jan-
click off on the
Janice,
end
do
there.
we,
Yeah.
you're going to post something so we can share this video?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna do that right now, and hopefully I save it correctly here. So I'm just gonna work with that now, and then I'll send it out through the group through email. Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, honey. Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too. Bye.
Let's see. Birth Detroit. .com events page.